comes the time for the test of strength of this workbench. And I know you're gonna dig this. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am T. I am your host. I'm back out in the garage. Still kind of riding the high after Matt's, where we saw the old Dart do its thing, run a bunch of 1090s, go some rounds. Not enough rounds, but go some rounds. And did it pretty consistently, all with a fresh 727 that was put together by this guy. We have a little bit of work to do on this car, and we're going to get to that. We're not going to do that today. So what we're doing out in the garage now concerns one 1966 Plymouth Valiant two-door sedan. I'm going to start tearing the front suspension out of this car. My plan is to get this car up to a certain height and build some sort of a dolly, caster system that's bolted directly to the frame of the car. Probably where the K-frame goes. In fact, something I'd been considering even has to do with me building it out of an old K-frame. So let's get started. Now it's been a while since I've had these wheels off. Get a good look at this. This is how long it's been since this bloody wheel's been off. Everything that could be living in it has attempted to do so. It's pretty loose. Man. More of the same critters, mostly of the insect and or arachnid variety. I'm gonna try and get in here and clean off some of these years of road grime and grease and whatnot. Basically trying to get this guy out at the ball joint on the upper and the lower. That's really on there. Drastic measures. One down, several to go. This ball joint cotter pin has been there for a minute. It does not want to come out. Upper loose. Now we're just going to manipulate the rest of this bottom. We're almost there. Wow. That didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. I mean, it did, but without my knee in the way. This side's going just a little bit easier, and I let the GoPro charge up a little bit while I got all the cotter pins out and all the castle nuts off of the different connection points. So we're going to start beating the crap out of these and trying to knock them out. ball joint's not getting reused, so there we go. Got the front brakes completely off, and I took them apart just to kind of see what was going on. The interesting thing is, looks like at some point one of these drums was swapped out with something else. I mean, still a 9-inch drum brake. Interesting stuff. 2 different drums. So anyway, they're apart, they're off. The more I look at it, the more I think I'm just going to try and drop the whole thing, K-frame and all, out as much as I possibly can. So I'll have a couple of things to undo. 11/16 on the nut, 5/8 on the bolt. Here we go. We'll go repeat the same process on the other side. Got my jack placed to kind of hold things once I start loosening K-frame bolts. All of the K-frame bolts are out. Torsion bar retaining clip. Well, it's out. Combination of the hammer and punch inside and Mr. Sledge up against the K-frame. No big deal, it's still fine. But if my plan goes, I won't be reusing this stuff anyway. Next, I'll finish getting the shock out. Got to get the control arms out. I knew these were going to be a pain, and they are. These are basically adjustment parts for the alignment. When you rotate the bolt itself, it changes the angle of the control arm, puts it in different spots for cast or camber adjustments and such. And since everything's rotten and rusty, well, not quite rotten per se, I want these out so I can handle the business here. The nuts came off, but those eccentrics are making it definitely a pain for the bolts to come out. So I'm gonna pry on that, both sides actually, and see if I can get those out just a little bit and then put the impact back on them and hopefully be able to turn them the rest of the way out. Say these bushings are toast. I ended up having to go to less conventional methods. Cut off wheels. Yeah, I'm cutting these bolts at this point. And honestly, I'm half a step from cutting the arm off. I was trying to be nice and save it, but it's not cooperating so much. Well, I finally got it out. Is this arm worth saving? I don't know. Early A body, 9-inch drum brakes, small ball joint. I did nick it in a couple places with the grinder, but that's what it took to get it out. I was using a cutoff wheel there. I was prying on things. I used an air chisel. It was fun. Now we got to do it all over again on the driver's side. Well, we broke the first one. That guy was not coming off. without a fight. Really could use a Sawzall, but I broke mine. Haven't replaced it yet. So let's go to the cutoff wheel. We definitely need to regroup. So when stores open again tomorrow, coming back with some heavy artillery. At this point, I've nicked up this control arm pretty good on the other side too, so I'm not too worried about saving those anymore. But we'll get it out. Yeah, spring in Utah. And you see the Charger off in the distance. I am a horrible person. The Charger's outside under a tarp. I guess at least there's a tarp. Well, we brought in the heavier artillery. It's Sawzall time. And since my old Sawzall head broke, had to go get another one. Bought the cheapest new one I could find at Harbor Freight. And this one's cordless. It's a Warrior. I've never used one of these before, the Warrior brand. We're gonna find out if they're better than Chicago Electric. Let's hope. Man, the safety on this thing, really aggravating. Somehow I gotta manage to hold this button in. I guess the good thing is you can go either way. But hold that up and use an awkward trigger finger. So far that's the negative. The only negative about this Warrior Harbor Freight Sawzall. Get on down. Now I've probably killed the battery. Didn't last very long. We may never get this out. You suck. We're so close to through on this one. Wasted exactly too much time on this piece of crap. Meaning the control arm, not the car. Although some might beg to differ. All that Sawzall and reciprocating saw, excuse me, and I have very little to show for it. Cutoff wheel's not getting in there very good anymore. And I've got too much bolt basically remaining to get out of either side on this one. one bushing. You're my only hope. See if we can wreck it and not cause more blood. Yep, I have shed blood for this car. Holy crap, that was probably the worst thing I've had to do in quite some time. Now that it's out, I'm gonna go cry. This piece of crap. These bushings were so rusted. Everything was pretty much rusted to itself. I've got burnt rubber on my safety glasses. I love it. So now that the upper control arms are out, the entire front suspension is out, essentially. We're looking at the front of the suspension, front of the car, down this way. K-frame, strut rods, lower control arms, and the uppers draped over those. The manual steering box, the steering components from driver to passenger, and the 6-cylinder torsion bars. That stuff came out easy by comparison. So now we can start doing some rust repair. I think I am going to get the fenders off the car first. Trying to see what's still attached to my face as far as the grinding and cutting went. So I'm going to wrap this one up. It might be a day or two before I get back out to start messing with the car again. The Dart needs my attention in the electrical department. I need to get started on that. I have no idea when I'm racing again. But the sooner I get the wiring fixed, the sooner I can decide. I have a new flesh wound. Actually, it's not a new one. It basically opened up one that I already had from this car, by the way. So I'm gonna go bandage that. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. If you're not, please give that a consideration. Hopefully you like what we're doing. Hopefully we're improving as we move along. Hopefully my work is improving as we move along. I know I lack some of the tools for sure, most likely some of the skills. Hopefully I'm helping you motivate yourselves to work on your own projects. So stay tuned for another one, hopefully coming here shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Clean up on aisle 4.